Follow Mercoulis Ryan It is Andrew here from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, the Last Watch documentary. And motherfucking hot stuck. Ryan, I have just received a fucking Raven Brother all the way to Winterfell. All the fucking way to Winterfell, man. From none other, right? The two boys and their pops, right?
I will never, ever, ever get over how good that whole cameo thing is. From everybody that sent it to me, from Eric to Baby Ice to Mr. Crispers to Sassy to Mama Ice. I apologize if I'm missing anybody right now. My guest will be able to help me and let me know who I'm missing if I'm missing anybody. But yeah, thank you everybody for that gift at my birthday previously. I watch it over and over and over again. But hey, we made it. Episode 2 was fire. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. As always. And now I'm getting the beeps, so my guests are coming. I was a little bit nervous thinking I might need to do this one on my own this week. I was going to do it. It's weird, right? I'm going to tell you now. I've been on the Horseman Lives every single week for the last year and a bit, and I don't get nervous. But I do a live on my own channel, and I'm shaking, and I've got butterflies in my stomach. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm talking about Game of Thrones and a lot of pressure on it. The Luau goes and shouts me out, and there's loads of people watching him, and it's like, dude, you don't need to do that. But thank you, Luau. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, let's just get this show started, shall we? I've got loads of notes written down because you can't even see it. It's too bright. I've got loads of notes written down from the episode, so we'll be able to talk about those. Let me get the chat up. LSAPC, so excited. Thank you for being here. Big Easy's House of Pop. Let's go, Frodo. No. Timeout. Put user in timeout. Big Easy, you'll learn a lesson. You'll be back when your timeout is finished. Poppy Missouri says, evening, everybody. There we go. Guys, I'm just going to bring on my guests quick fire. We're going to get them on. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones episode. No, House of the Dragon episode 2. Only plan to be on for about 45 minutes maximum. I appreciate everybody being here. And you got boomed on Big Easy. He did indeed, because he's now on my channel and I've got Power Charles. Right, let's get everybody on. So Baby Ice is my guest, guys, today, and Charles from Poppy, Missouri. So Baby Ice from Baby Ice 9119 Collect, on YouTube, and Charles from Poppy, Missouri, and Let's Chats with Veterans, and I'm sure he's got another one somewhere. Let's bring them on. Baby Ice and Charles, how you doing?
Guys? Hey guys, what's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you all watch the episode?
Yep.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one requirement. That's the only requirement I ask for you guys to be here. Here we got Mitchie as well. Welcome, Mitchie. Thank you for being here. Jeremy says, I lost my voice, but I'm dying to chat about this episode. Dude,
yes.
The link is there if you want to pop up and chat. You're more than welcome. Or you can just talk in the chat because it doesn't use your voice to type, you know?
Yeah.
It's up to you. More than welcome to be here. But guys, I want to start it off with my first question. Charles, you've seen a bit of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So you will have seen the intro scene for Game of Thrones. And you'll be familiar with the music and all that kind of stuff. I'm not happy with the new title scene for House of Dragon. I think it's lazy. I think it's not very inventive. It's supposed to be the Targaryen family, fire and blood. Why am I only seeing blood? I know that as a Game of Thrones fan, the title sequence does evolve throughout the show. So maybe I'm just being a bit too overzealous and we're going to get some fire in the intro. But yeah, HBO, if you're watching, you should be. I'm a massive fan. So, give me some fire in the intro. What did you guys think of the intro?
I thought it was pretty much what you just said. It was pretty much the same thing it was before, just with blood. Pretty much same music, everything.
Yeah, they just copied and pasted it. Look like add a little bit to it.
Yeah, and I really I'm going to write that down. That Charles said copy and paste on episode 2 because I think that could come back to haunt me through this season. I don't know though, but from the first 2 episodes, I think they've tried to throw nostalgia in my face a little bit too much.
They're trying to pull the Game of Thrones viewers in, even though the Game of Thrones views are there already.
Yeah, they don't need to pull the viewers in. Like
They pulled me in, they sucked my ass in, but
reports from the first episode last week was the most watched premiere in HBO's history.
There you go.
So, and they already confirmed a season 2. After one episode of the show, we've confirmed season 2, nice. Which is fantastic in my eyes. Jeremy, what did you think of the intro? I'd be interested to know what you thought. Christina Payne, thank you for being here. Anthony Blaze, thank you for being here. Just gave you a wrench, buddy. I hope Big Easy does come back. I was only joking, and I timed him out.
He's probably hanging from the tree right now. He's like, come on, anytime.
Well, I really, really appreciate everybody being here, and it's really, really grateful. So, yeah, I wrote down in my notes that I don't like the same music being used and Where's the Fire. The only thing I did like about the scene was the actual writing, was the House of Dragon, and then the blood was going down the pit. That was probably the only decent scene from that. But yeah, I'm going to add Baby Ice. What did you think overall of the episode? Before we get into details of like the things that actually did happen, like spoilers, what did you think overall?
I think there was a lot of major movements that happen now.
Okay. So it was, for me, yeah, I agree with you. There's moves being made. It's like a game of chess. At the beginning of chess, things are quite slow, and then it builds up and gets more intense and more intense. It's one of the best things about Game of Thrones is the way it does it. For me, I wrote down in my book, in my phone. This episode felt like, what did I put? Episode was a typical mid-season Game of Thrones episode. Lots and lots of politics. I understand we're only 2 seasons done, but I want to see fire. The only time that we've seen it was at the funeral. And this is a House of Dragons. Now, there was a perfect opportunity that we'll get onto later, but remaining spoiler-free right now for the first couple of minutes of the show. Yeah, I probably give the episode a 6. I think it's lower than last week.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have been pulled in last week so hard, after this week's, I may not watch next week, but I will. I will be watching, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was
slow down like extremely from the first episode. It just went.
Cool. Guys, I just took a drink of my cola then, and I realised that I didn't show off the thing I wanted to show off, because everybody knows I collect Funko Pops, and I've also got collectibles and stuff like that. So part of my, part of the stream is I'll be able to show some of my Game of Thrones things throughout the episodes, just to be a little bit different and also be myself. So I'm going to make myself big screen. So I do have a Game of Thrones Lannister gift set, and it's a cup and mug and a keychain and coaster, which is really, really cool. And I'm actually going to open this because I'm going to use the cup for the stream today, and the keychain and coaster, which is here, I'm going to run a giveaway for the keychain and coaster, because I'm not a keychain person unless it's the one I've got on my keys. So I'm just muting the Discord so I don't get distracted.
Hey Tats, what's up?
Hey Tats.
Mitchie, I honestly was too. I figured it would happen again this week, but it didn't.
Mitchie was expecting boobs and still got nothing. Mitchie, I am sorry. I'll have to send Mitchie pictures during the episode next week, just to like, here's a boob. Be careful, you might put you in timeout. No, Easy, I won't put Tats in timeout. Tats is always kind and friendly to me. Always nice. Doesn't come in and bully me with Lord of the Rings things and stuff like that. But it's okay, Big Easy, because you're back now. But yeah. So yeah, what I was going to do is I'm going to give this keychain and coaster away to unlucky winner tonight. I am going to share something in the chat. I would like everybody to go over to the channel and subscribe to the guy. It's Terry from Headless Ned Stark. It's just over 200 subscribers. He's a Game of Thrones fan and Star Wars fan, also a collectible of Funko Pops and all other stuff. So I would definitely love it if people could go over, give him a follow and put hashtag Lord Milky. and at the end of the episode, I will use the YouTube comment picker, and we will get a winner. I'm going to do a couple of giveaways throughout the next couple of weeks, and we will use different ways of finding a winner, so that it makes it fair and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of people get picked from the same ways, and we'll do a wheel, we'll do something like that. But yeah, this is my cup, my Lannister cup. So I'm going to drink out of this while we do the rest of the stream. But we're going to head into spoilers now, guys. We're just past 15 minutes of the stream, so we will be talking about details of the episode and getting everybody's opinions on things like that. So the first thing I've got down here was the intro to the episode showed us the Stepstones War. If you guys noticed, there was a massive war going on the beach. There was crabs eating people and people getting chained up. What do you guys think about that? Does that intrigue you? Does it, does it make you want to watch more? I know for you, Charles, you haven't seen all of Game of Thrones, so some of the massive scenes that we've all seen, like the Battle of the Bastards and some of the amazing fights that we've seen.
Yeah,
I'm super hyped for this because it's supposedly going to be a good battle.
I didn't know they were crabs. I thought they were turtles at first. I'll be totally honest. I was like, that's a lot of turtles. But yeah, I mean, I'm in it to win it at this point.
Yeah. So. What would put you off watching, Charles?
I think if it just completely slowed down and we didn't have a plot twist every week, I'd be done. I think I really would.
So you need a WTF moment every week?
Pretty much. But, I watch the news. I watch the news for the same reason, so, whatever.
Well, yeah, you'll get them every 10 minutes. And same question to you, Baby Ice. What would stop you from watching the show? House of Dragon. You've seen all of Game of Thrones. You're rewatching Game of Thrones, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You've just passed season 1. So what would stop you from watching House of Dragon? I'm interested.
Well, probably nothing, really, because if I could get through what I did in Game of Thrones and still finish watching it, I don't think this should be a problem. So I would still watch it just to, find out the full story.
Okay, so you're all in now, no matter what, because you've seen every... you're addicted now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, let me get back to StreamYard. There's way too many things to try and keep an eye on. I've never in my life watched Game of Thrones, says Anthony Blaze. Anthony Blaze, let's change that. Watch it. Give it a chance. You don't have to. Just, I'd like you to. Jeremy, LSAPC says, I'm enjoying the storyline and how it's developing. I know tonight was slow, but when you dig in, there's a lot covered from the storyline's perspective. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we're just about to dig in. We are just about to dig in. I have kind of wrote a little paragraph about everything that we saw. So yeah, let's get into it. Yeah. So it starts with us in the small council room, and we're talking with the small council. And Lord Corlius himself comes in and says that he has lost 4 ships at the recent battle with the Crabman. And he isn't happy and explains that it's been about half a year since episode 1. I don't know if you guys caught that. They mentioned it a couple of times in the episode that it's been about a 6-month time span. And I was mentioning that HBO Max, yes, Anthony Blaze. I was mentioning that last week, that this story is a story that spans a lot of years. Now, there's going to be different actresses for the 2 main girls in the scene. Why do their names Rhaenyra and Alicent? Those 2 actresses will be played by different actresses later down the line because they will be older in the show, because the story is going to span a good 100 years or so. So he wasn't happy. Rhaenyra suggests showing force with the dragon riders at the council when she was using the cup. She was a cupbearer, isn't she? Mm-hmm. And she speaks out of turn. She speaks out loud, but I don't think she spoke out of turn, because last episode he made her his heir. So she's the next heir to the throne, So you would think he would want her to be there and to listen to the kind of things that are going on, to learn. But as soon as she said anything, she was pushed down and said, "No, go and choose a knight that will protect you. Go and do a lady's job," kind of thing.
That's what caught them all off guard is when she opened her mouth.
Yeah. I was going to ask,
When
what
she
did you
said
all
something,
think
they're
of
all
that?
like, "What?"
Yeah, she actually spoke up and said something, and I've got written down here that the knights in the room looked shocked that she'd spoken on top of the king, because that's not something they do. And I was like, you've got to understand that it's a father-daughter relationship, and
Yeah.
But we do find out later on in the episode that exact line I just said, it's a father-daughter relationship. It comes back to bite her later, because she says, "I know you're my father, but your main priority is to the realm first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
More than being my father." Mitchie, nobody died in this episode. Mitchie, did you not see the beginning bit? Well, no, maybe that person wasn't dead, but there was loads of dead people on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not dead, maybe they were dying, but yeah. No, I completely agree, Mitchie. It's not easy to approach 15-year-old daughters. Lol. Try a 12-year-old, Simon. If you watch the episode. Yeah. So, going a bit further into the episode, I'm intrigued with this Kristen Cole character. He defeated Daemon last week, knocked him off his horse. And this week, Rhaenyra chooses him to be her guard in the king's hand and to look after her father, Otto. Well, Otto Hightower, yeah, not her father. But so, yeah, what do you think of him? Are you intrigued by him? Do you think he's just the main character and they're just going to feed him through?
I think we saw that coming last week. Mm-hmm. He was going to have more of a role after last week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What role that might be, who can tell? But now we know. So yeah.
And I do. You guys will have to forgive me at some points, because I use questions and I go down questioning lines because I have a bit more knowledge. Like, I've read the books and I need to remember that. But we are learning and we're getting there. So we're going to fast forward through the episode, and King Viserys has a structure of Old Valyria. We found out now that the thing that he's working on is Old Valyria, and what it used to look like before the end of the doom of Old Valyria. Again, we don't know what the doom was. I suspect it was a volcano of some sort, or something crazy that happened to it, and that's how we've now got Westeros. But hey, but go ahead.
I would say it's volcano.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I know
the volcano was in the center of
the town was built on the side of the volcano, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? Yeah, it was closest to where its power was, so that's probably where it. Maybe one day HBO will grant us with that, and we'll be able to see a series on Valyria. That would be fun. Yeah. Because I know the size of those dragons were massive. Like you've all seen the dragon down in the basement. It's huge. Mm-hmm. But yeah, while the king was talking with Alicent, they bond over a lot. They bond over sharing and lost loved ones, and it's a big thing in the episode for me, because I feel like Alicent seems sweet, but she's secretly manipulative, and I get it. It's like she's a female version secretly. I see Sansa in her so much. And I don't want to keep taking to Game of Thrones all the time, but they're doing it to us. I see Sansa as Alicent, and I hate it. I don't like Alicent at all. What do you guys think of Alicent? Do you trust her? Do you not trust her?
I think that she's really being told what to do by her father. She's going off of his commands that he's forcing her to do this, because she doesn't look happy about actually doing it.
Well, she's doing something to her finger, isn't she? So I think there is some sort of nervous disposition with her.
That was there beforehand. That was an issue with her before she actually started meeting with the king.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So this is why I invite guys on, because you guys all watch it, I watch it, and then you've all got different perspectives, and
And Rhaenyra's 15.
Yeah, I knew when I mentioned volcanoes Big Easy was going to have something to say about it, because in Lord of the Rings they throw the fire into Mordor, and Mordor, the volcano, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
I'd have to
Jeremy,
agree
go
with
ahead.
Jeremy. I think it's too early to tell. Is she yeah, or
Manipulative,
just a young
naive.
naive kid? You know, I don't know. I have to agree with Jeremy on that one. Time will
Yeah,
tell.
time will definitely tell. Damn it, here comes more. It's like, no, Big Easy, I gave you your punishment for this week. You can, I'll count it up again for next week.
I tried to time him out and I can't, so I tried.
Yeah, and so we move to the next episode, and it's actually the thumbnail for this video, where they were at the fire pit, Alison and Rhaenyra, and this is where I get the manipulative side of her from, because she was talking to her, but she was also trying to get her to listen to what she wanted to say by not nagging at her father, because he just said to her, don't tell her about the things that we talk about because she might not understand. And the next scene, she's trying to get her to reason with her father and be a little bit like, hey, there's a time and a place to contact him and to speak to him about these kind of things. So I don't know. Yeah, just to go back on what Jeremy said there, it definitely doesn't look either way. You can't really tell. But with somebody with a little bit more knowledge on it, yeah, I can see that she's being manipulative from episode 2. So, yeah. So, who's your favorite character so far, Baby Ice?
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra?
Yeah.
Okay. And why do you like Rhaenyra? Why is she your favorite?
Because she has the qualities to be a queen, but she's also very smart for her age, and she's, I guess, advanced for her time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. Charles, what about you?
I am still going with my pick from last week. I'm bad at names. The ship guy.
Lord Corliss.
Yep, that's my guy.
Lord
I just
Corliss
dig
is
his
a
hair.
really cool looking dude. Yeah. He's really cool looking dude. He stands out. And I know that it was mentioned in the Comic-Con, but it was nice to see a black man cast in that role, because in the storyline, in the books, he's white. So, and it's known that he's white and stuff like that. So it's cool that they cast him in that. And yeah.
I like how he carries himself. I like his character. I won't say any more about the episode, what happens, but I get a different vibe from that as well too. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So Lord Corliss for you, Charles, and Rhaenyra for Baby Ice.
Yeah. How about you?
King Viserys. Right now, King Viserys. Jeremy says Rhaenyra is my favorite at this point. She reminds me so much of Arya. Yep. And I'm going to copy and paste how Jeremy spelt it because he got it right and I never can. I type it out so many times. I'm like, what is her name again? Because they're so alike. They are really so alike. So yeah, back to things that happened on the episode. So I want to talk about, a lot of it was around Lord Corliss and what he wants in this episode. I feel like the episode was called A Rogue Prince, and the Rogue Prince is Daemon Targaryen, and we don't see Daemon Targaryen for 23 minutes of the episode. We see him for we don't see him for 23 minutes, and then we see him again at the end. So for an episode called The Rogue Prince, we didn't really get to see much of it. But that's why I like your night. You Nightbot, you're drunk. Air Spider, what are you talking about?
Your Nightbot spammed him.
Did it?
It
Oh,
did.
so it did. I need to set that up. I apologize. I really do. I want to thank everybody for being here as well, and I will try and keep up on chat as much as I'm going. So Jeremy just said earlier, but is it just me, or do you get a sense there's a bit of romantic connection between the two girls? between Alicent and Rhaenyra.
I kind of got that vibe at the fire at the candles. Yeah.
Well, I actually got that vibe from the last episode when
Okay.
they were sitting under the tree, and she's like, "Oh, well, I'm comfy here," and
Yeah, you've got a very good point. Yeah, I've never made that connection. I never once made that connection in my head. So thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I copied and pasted from Google for the name, he says. At least he admits it. I would never have owned up to that. I would have claimed it. From both episodes. So just to go back to last episodes before we get deeper into this one. I don't know why there's a tree in King's Landing. I don't know if we mentioned that last week, but there shouldn't be a tree in King's Landing. A weird tree with the face on it. I don't get that. Very weird. So I'm going to dig in, find out whether I can find if there was actually a tree supposed to be in King's Landing or not. But yeah, let's move forward, guys. So Lord Corlius informs the king that the crown is perceived as vulnerable. Him and his wife approach him and ask him or suggest to him that he should remarry to their 12-year-old daughter, who is of pure blood Targaryen. She is born into the richest family in Westeros, the Valerians, who are... So Targaryens have Dragonstone and Valerians have Driftmark. They're the two main locations and destinations that we'll have from this season. Tree was a cool tie back to the Stark boy. Yeah, the one that fell out of a window that should never have got back up. Yeah. There are spoilers and I still don't understand it, says Air Spider. So yeah. Shocking. Game of Thrones shocking scene. Like, marry my 12-year-old daughter. You know? How sadistic can you be? How much do you want power? Like, I know it's the storyline, and in that kind of world, there's no kind of laws that we have in the real world. But come on, you know, even the king, Viserys, all the way through the episode, he keeps saying, she's 12. You know, was that shocking for you guys? I'm sure it was.
yeah, I didn't think they would, actually go that young, but wasn't Sansa around the same age?
I think Sansa was 14 when she married Joffrey.
Well, she never actually.
Not much better, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. But then you got to look at it like you said. That's that time period. I mean, again, it's a story, but it's that time period that stuff went on too. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. And George R.R. Martin does take from actual history. It's actual facts, some of the stuff that he uses. You know, maybe not a king marrying a 12-year-old daughter, but some, you know, so you've got to take things as a pinch of salt. Jeremy says it was a big pill to swallow, and I'm glad that the king had an issue with it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad he said something too. You could see he was actually wearing on him. He was like, no.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, it was crazy. And I have down here that they asking to wed their family with the marriage of their 12-year-old daughter, as she is Valerian, of Valyria and has Targaryen blood, a strong ally. So do you think that was intentional to make him a better king, or do you think it was just power so that the family could get a direct line to the throne?
I think it was a direct line to the throne because the mother is the queen who never was. So obviously she's already having a problem with the situation at hand. So that's another alternative to kind of backdoor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. You know, it's her way of getting her foot in the door. You know, because if the king marries her 12-year-old daughter and then something happens to the king, you know, who's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
does that link work in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because it looks like I might have. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now I've lost chat. I need to back out. There we go.
That's what
So-
I was doing right now, just making sure it worked.
Yeah. So now I want to talk about what I think was the best foreshadowing in this episode for future things. It might not be. It might just be. It was weird, right? We're now going to go on to the scene where King Viserys is having his finger fixed, and he goes and puts his hand, or the maester puts his hand in a bowl of maggots. It's actually his left hand. It's his left hand.
Left hand.
And they put his left hand in a box of maggots, and they say that the maggots will eat the dead flesh and it will heal it. And then as he's speaking, he speaks to his hand. I don't know if you guys caught that, but his hand was being eaten by a maggot. So I don't know if it was a foreshadowing or a reference to the hand is nasty, the hand Otto Tower, the hand in the maggots. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be a callback for episode 2 later down the line. I'll be able to tell you guys, told you so. But we'll see. What do you think of Otto Hightower?
He reminds me of Littlefinger.
Mm-hmm. I said that last week. Definitely reminds me that. No, I didn't say. Did I say that last week, or did I say that about Daemon Targaryen?
I think you said that about Daemon
when he was hiding backstage listening. Yeah. So no.
Yeah, when he had his ear up against the wall listening. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no, I didn't say it last week, Baby Ice. So okay. I did get Littlefinger vibes to this week, definitely. Like he's scheming, he's plotting. So
yeah, he is the manipulative one, I believe.
Yeah, he knows that the king is weak. He knows that he can manipulate the king. He knows that he's got him in his ear and he can do what he wants.
Exactly.
What did you think of the maggot scene?
He knows how to work the king.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
That grossed me out. Ugh.
The maggots grossed you out?
Yeah, they did. They're just nasty little things. I'm sorry. That was just gross. And then especially to have that thing sucking on your finger. Oh, no, thank you. I'm good. No.
They still do that at sometimes.
I know, but still no.
It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I bet. Ugh.
And then Otto Hightower says to the king, he does not envy the king for having to replace his once love for the duty of the crown. Now, instantly when he said that, I instantly got thrown back to the Jon Snow scene where he says, "Love is the death of duty," and it was a thing that was said to him early on in the episode of Game of Thrones, and then it was repeated to him in I think one of the very last episodes of the show. It was foreshadowed back to him, and it was fantastic. But yeah, it was mentioned that he did not envy the king for having to replace his once love for the duty for the crown, to have to remarry again. And coming from Otto Hightower, what we know now from the end of the episode, that it was obviously a false statement, because we know what happens at the end. And I was shocked, and I knew it was coming. You know, that was my what TF moment of the episode. But we'll get to that real soon, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to get everyone's thought on Otto Hightower. So you think he's like Littlefinger, and what do you think about him, Charles?
I don't know who Littlefinger is, but just hearing you guys talk about it, I can see he's a manipulator. He knows how to push the king's buttons. He knows what's gonna work for him, what's not. Like you said, he's gonna sweet talk him and get what he wants for sure. So make it work out in his favor. Yeah,
definitely. And one of the most shocking lines of this week was the 12-year-old girl reciting word for word what her father had told her to say.
Yeah.
And then he said, "What did your mother say to you? I won't have to bed you till I'm 14. Yeah. I just thought, what a thing to say to your 12-year-old daughter. You know, it's crazy. I love her hair, though. I think her hair was amazing.
Yeah, I did too.
Like, if I could get anything from this show, like a prop, I'd want a wig, a Lord Corliss wig. You know, silver dreadlocks.
Yes.
Definitely. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. Alicent gives the king a gift, and it is the dragon that was dropped earlier in the episode, the little clay dragon. And if you notice later in the episode, he's admiring this gift, and he's sat in his chair and he's looking at it and he's admiring it, and it looks like he's falling for Alicent. I think he's got these thoughts in his head that he needs to remarry. He's got a 12-year-old girl on one side, and he's also going to have to bring in another family into power. Or he's got this older, much older girl who seems to have her head screwed on, who seems to be able to have conversations with him, and is also the daughter of his most trusted ally, Otto Hightower. So he thinks. So, you know, what do you guys think to the possibility of them getting married?
Well, I mean, she's not much older because Rhaenyra is only 15. So I'm assuming she's either 14 or 15. So she's only 2 to 3 years older than this other girl. So it's still equally as bad, but for those times, I
think Alicent is a little bit older than Rhaenyra, if memory serves me right. I think she's a couple of years older.
Okay. But as child, it's almost like she's like has a childlike quality to her more than an adult. I think the only adult thing I really saw her do was the fire pit scene. You know, that was very adult and grown, and you know, she's offering words of wisdom, and you know.
Yeah, no, I get you. I again, it goes down to manipulative. I think she's been planning this. Now I know her dad's been telling her, like the first, all we got from the first episode was him saying to go spend time with him. Now, obviously, his wife had just died, so I don't think she was spending time with the king before Emma died. Before Emma died, his wife.
Yeah.
So you know, and it is spanning. Like we've just done 6 months. Like from episode 1 to episode 2, it's been 6 months. So for all we know, she's been in to see him 2 times, but we know it's going to be more than that in 6 months. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit like, I think it might have been, even though it's wrong to say, it probably would have been better to marry the 12-year-old than to marry Alicent.
In the long run, yeah, probably.
Yeah, in the long run, I do think that would probably be better. And I know that was the very end of the episode. That was I fast forwarded to that, but that's because I wanted to talk about the last thing I wanted to talk about on the episode was the Daemon scene, and the best scene of the episode for me was that long wide shot of the bridge, and you can tell that most of the expenditure for that episode was spent on that scene. There was 2 dragons. It was beautiful, but why didn't Caraxes, the red dragon, breathe fire when he made that noise and did that crazy growl? That they missed their opportunity there.
But I thought the dragon had to be told Dracarys in order to breathe fire, because that's the only time you've ever seen him do it.
On command, but I don't think Daenerys said Dracarys every time that they were fighting and when they were doing all that stuff. Like when you watch her fighting the Night King, you don't hear her scream. You don't hear her scream Dracarys when they're fighting the Night King in the skies.
Right, but we may not be able to hear her saying it, but every other time Dracarys has been said beforehand.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I have read the books, and I don't think it's mentioned every time that they say it, that they breathe fire. But I remember seeing that shot, that wide shot with the bridge, and it looked beautiful. And I just thought when the dragon came over the rock like it did, and it arched its neck and made the growl, if it had have spanned back to that wide shot, and the dragon was breathing fire out across that open, it would have just looked amazing. And I think that's where they missed that opportunity. But maybe they spent too much money on, you know, Lord Corlys's hair. But yeah, so we get to this scene, guys, that I was in shock. I was in awe again every week, and my mouth is on the floor, and I've got to pick it up. This scene where it was teased that last week, we have Otto and the King's Guard on one side, and you have Daemon and his whore/wife/ pregnant woman and his merry men of bandits with him. And it looks like there's going to be a big fight. And I'm thinking, how are you going to fight in this tiny little alleyway? This is like, it's not going to work. People are going to fall off. And I was like, what's going to happen? Did you think there was going to be a fight? Were you disappointed that there wasn't?
I didn't think there was going to be a fight once Rhaenyra got involved.
Yeah. But before
Maybe
that, when the swords got
beforehand,
drawn.
yes, but once she stepped in, then no.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Charles? You think there was going to be a fight?
Before she got there, I really don't think so, honestly, because I think if they would have fought then, it would have ruined the storyline a little bit. Where if they don't, they just kind of both turn around and walk away. It adds to it. It adds more suspense to what's going to happen next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you get into it right now, okay, now we're at war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for people in the chat, go ahead.
As soon as she showed up, I'm like, all right, there's not going to be anything happen here, because her and her uncle have such a good relationship. It seems like, I'm gonna put it that way. That when she said, "Just kill me," I knew he wasn't going to. He, in my opinion, he's that high school bully that nothing can hurt me and everything until he gets like challenged, and then he backs down.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, so
okay, cool. And for anybody in the chat that was wondering what we're talking about and why we just went on to this, to set this scene, Daemon Targaryen sends a raven or whatever he sends to his brother, the king, and he announces that he is taking a second wife and that she is pregnant, and that they have taken a dragon egg. And to follow the Targaryen traditions, they were going to have the child be brought up with a dragon, which is basically a nuclear weapon. A dragon is a nuclear weapon, and to them, he stole it, and they're not happy about it. So they go and try and get the egg back, and that's how we get to the scene that we're just talking about now, where they're at the bridge. But yeah, Rhaenyra turns up, which completely shocked me. I obviously we knew. For some reason, it just left my mind. When it came under you could see it coming under the clouds, and then up, I was like, oh, this is getting good now. Like, again, I wanted to see fire, though, The dragons can breathe fire. Let me see it. And I'll be going on about that for weeks, guys. Don't you worry. But yeah, so it ends up that, like Charles has just let us know, that she says, Rhaenyra turns up and says, I'm the heir to the throne. If you've got an issue with it, kill me. Because that's the only way it's going to change. I'm the heir to the throne and you're not now. And he doesn't do it. And he throws the egg back to her, which is fair enough. I don't know what they did to the egg. That isn't in the books. I don't know what they did to it. It looked like they killed it.
They put it in a pot and it looked like it was cooking it. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they were just keeping it warm or if they were keeping it in the process of hatching. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah.
And that egg was actually put in her brother's crib. That specific egg.
Yeah, in Balon's, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why she went to get it back, was because it was her brother's egg.
Yeah, the heir for a day.
Yeah.
So then we, later on after this, we find out that, well, as far as I was aware, Daemon Hall wasn't pregnant. He was lying.
Yeah.
And she wasn't happy about it, really. She was like, you're not really protecting me here. She was a great actress. I couldn't quite understand what she was saying. I had to rewind it a couple of times to understand the dialect that she actually said.
Yeah.
It was a Jamaican accent. I don't think it quite fit the scene, but hey, What did you think? Do you like her as a character? I know we haven't seen much of her, but do you think she's in danger? Do you think Damien will just drop her like a hat? Like, I don't know.
See, I think he cares about her enough because he brought her with him. So I think he cares for her in some way, but I don't think she really reciprocates it the way he does. Which is odd for a Targaryen, but...
Yeah. I don't know. She reminded me of Shay. I know, Charles, that won't be a character that you're familiar with because she's later through the seasons. She reminds me of Shay, Tyrion's Hall.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if it was just because it was the accent, the foreign accent, and the whore status. I don't know.
probably same area. Yeah.
What are you going to say, Charles?
I don't know. I kind of see them both kind of like manipulating each other. She got out of what she was in, and now she's, the the whore of the king's brother. So she's out of where she was, and now he can use her as a pawn, like he did right there. You know, for different things. I don't. I just see him kind of both at just using each other as pawns, back and forth, until they're not needed anymore, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But there again, like we said, I have not seen Game of Thrones, so I may be completely wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. So we find out that she's not pregnant, and they're going to get married tomorrow. I think I got the gist of it. They were going to get married tomorrow, but
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, that could be next month. That could be next week. We never know. But yeah. So we are going to move on to the final part of the episode. Is first of all, just to let the guys know in chat that King Viserys comes forward and says that he is going to marry Alicent. Everybody thinks that he's going to choose Lord Corlys' 12-year-old daughter, and he doesn't say that. He says Alicent. And then you get what I think was the most WTF moment of the week, when they're both, Alicent and Rhaenyra are standing across each other, and that you don't even need swords. You could kill each other with a look. And Alicent was like, "What have I got myself into?" And Rhaenyra just played it brilliantly. Now, I don't want to say this, but she's a better Daenerys to me than Emilia Clarke was. I think she'd play a Daenerys better. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that she's a complete. Daenerys was okay in season 1, and then she was okay in season 8. She was a kind of like myth-math all the way through it for me. So that's where I want to put that. But yeah, King Viserys is going to marry Alicent. That's shocking. Lord Corlys is like, "What are you doing? I am the richest man in the world. I'm also the guy that owns the fleet that you need to use to go to battle next week," and all this stuff. So it's like, what's going on? He walks out. Rhaenyra walks out. And then we move to a scene which shocked me and surprised me. I thought Lord Corlys was talking with the Crabman. At the first, when you see there's some weird figure, and it's like a face with loads of shells on it. And that instantly made me think of the Crabman. I thought, okay, he's making some weird face. And it pans around, and Lord Corlys is talking about how he's powerful, how he doesn't want to lose his home to this fight that's happening. But then we find out he's talking to Daemon. He's gone and walked out on the king and gone to his brother and said, "Look, I'm not happy with what your brother's doing. I don't like it." And then he says, "Hey, it's my brother. I can talk about him. You can't, because that's treason. You're talking about the king right there, and I could kill you for that because it's treason." So he allows him to do it, and we leave it on a real intense scene with Daemon Targaryen, and we finally get to see the Crabman on the beach. I was underwhelmed. It was like, what's going on? Like, who's this? Didn't look intimidating, didn't look scary. I was like, okay then. Well, I feel like Daemon's just going to slash you up next week. But yeah, that was the end of the episode. So I've marked it down. I put 5.5 out of 10 when I wrote my notes. I put episode was a typical mid-seasons Game of Thrones episode. Lots and lots of politics. I understand though we're only two episodes in. Still hyped and find that it's finally here, and I can't wait for next week, the Battle of Stepstones. So, what do you think, Charles and Baby Ice? What do you think? Next week,
I would not rank this one as high as I did last week, for sure. I'm still hyped. I'm still ready for next week. I wish it was Sunday already, of course, but I'm still gonna watch. I'm still hooked. They still got their fish hook in me for sure. Pull me along, but like you said, I wouldn't rank it as high as last week. Now the last 2 minutes, yeah, because I was like, okay, where's my boy going? That's my guy. What's he doing? Like I said, I'm enjoying the show, the heck out of it, But yeah, I would give it. I don't know what I gave it last week. I don't remember, but I would probably say.
I think you gave it a 7 last week.
I'd probably say like you, 5.5, 6, somewhere around there. Not as high. But yeah,
Okay, and if I took the last 2 minutes of the episode out, where would your score be then? Would you still have been hyped for next week if it ended on "I'm going to marry Alison" and then it went dead?
I'd still be hyped to watch, but I think I would probably give it a 3.5, maybe a 4.
Okay. So
Honestly.
that scene was powerful for you.
The
Okay.
last 2 minutes is powerful for me. It really was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. What about you, Baby Ice?
Well, I have to agree with him the last 2 minutes because I actually thought he was talking to his wife. That's who I thought he was talking to, and then it panned to Damien. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I go, "That was my WTF moment." So I would have to give it at least a 5.
Okay, and we
But
haven't
without
also
that, it would've
met.
been a 4.
We also haven't met Rhea, Damon's wife. Damon does have a
Right.
wife, and we haven't met her yet.
No.
Air Spider goes, "I'm a dragon. You know what I mean." And I do my little dance on the catwalk. I'm a dragon. Yeah, I know that song. Oh, well, yeah. So my rating, as I've said, 5.5. I'm hoping for more next week. I did when I watched it and it finished. I was like, "Is that it?" Like that wasn't really good. Okay. Now I am doing a reaction video for it, and I don't know what I'm going to do because I didn't react much during the episode. I just sat and watched it. So we're probably going to figure a way of doing that. And I want to tell YouTube to fix their copyright issues because I've had a hell of a week with copyright issues. Like my video last week was 45 minutes long. It's now 33 minutes long due to copyright, and they've made me cut things out and all sorts of stuff. So we need to get that fixed. But yeah, we're almost an hour, guys. We're almost an hour in, which I really appreciate. We are going to end it in 5 minutes, so we are just going to run the giveaway. I want to thank Baby Ice and Charles for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I have put the invitation out to more people. If anybody else wants to come up, you guys are always welcome every single week. You know, if we can get 7 or 8 people and we can turn it into a Game of Thrones party, House of the Dragon style, I would absolutely love that. And hey, if I'd have to do it on my own one week, and I'm sure I'm a big boy and I can do it. But yeah. So Charles, you were about the same as me, 5.5. Baby Ice, you say about 5. And I say about 5. So what was your score for last week, Baby Ice? Because you weren't here. What was last week's episode?
Mine was a 7 for last week.
Okay, cool. So 7 and down to a 5. Charles is the same. And last week I was like a 9 because I was super hyped and it was Game of Thrones week. So yeah, let me just bring up the comment picker. I want to thank everybody that went over and subscribed. If anybody did, I appreciate it. I haven't had a chance to go over and check. YouTube comment picker. So we've got 8 episodes left, and we've still got 15 dragons to see. I don't understand how that's going to work. But maybe it was just going to see 6 or 7 dragons in one fight. But well, I know it's confirmed we're getting 17.
The second season, they might be holding off and putting some of them to the next one.
That's a possibility. I know that Ryan Condal, the showrunner, has confirmed there is 17 sightings of different dragons in this first season. You're better doing breakdowns if you aren't falling off the chair during episodes. Yeah, good point, Air Spider, and thank you for the feedback. So let me get this comment picker running. So we are going to paste this link into here. I need to share this screen, don't I? So was the timer at the beginning laggy today? On YouTube side, was the timer laggy?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so because I noticed it and I was like, why is it doing that? Because it wasn't laggy on my end. I think it's my internet, to be honest.
Well, to be honest, you just cleared on my screen. You just finally cleared up. You were like related almost all night. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Now on the live. I don't think you are. On the live, it looks like you're good.
Hi, Batman.
Hi, Batman. Oh, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. How you doing? So what we're doing here, we've got the YouTube video in. I'm just going to remove that Lord Milky. And we've got the video there. And we're going to do specific text. Hashtag Lord Milky. And 8 plus 2 is 10. That's exactly how many episodes are in the first season. Get YouTube comments. So we've only got 2. Only got 2 comments, guys.
Wow.
Okay. I don't mind. I'm not going to push the giveaways. I'm not going to force it down people's throats.
Well, I
So
didn't
let's see.
because I was up here.
Okay. Let's see who wins. Hey!
Oh,
Hashtag Lord Milky sent me. Looking forward to checking out your content. Jeremy, thank you very much for entering, buddy. And I will send you the keychain. Charles, unlucky, my friend. Oh, I just removed Charles. Pressed the wrong button.
Dang
I'm trying
you,
to remove
Jeremy.
this.
Dang
Wow.
you.
I'm looking at my screen there. I'm looking at this screen over here. I'm trying to remove that thing. So, Jeremy, I will send you this Lannister keychain and thingy coaster. And thank you for subscribing to Headless Ned Stark. I really appreciate it. He is live at the same time as me. I just thought it'd be something nice to do. I know that last week he had some internet issues and wasn't able to connect to go live to react to the episode. And then he managed to get it up and stuff. But now he was live at exactly the same time as me. So I just thought, I can't go over and watch you because I'm live, but I can send over some love and do a little giveaway and stuff like that. So, and I got that all from you guys, you know, because it's all the American crowd and all you guys that have helped me to be more giving and more, you know, stuff like that. Because people in the UK aren't always as giving as I've known from being in the UK community. Yeah, guys, this was episode 2, reaction, live, breakdown episode, spoiler chat. I want to thank Baby Ice for being here. Thank you very much. I want to thank Charles for being here. Really appreciate it. Charles, what have you got coming up this week?
Tomorrow I've got some stuff that I picked up on my way up to see Jeremy Mitchie for F Cancer. I stopped at some shops and picked some different stuff up, so I'm going to just show all that off. Tuesday Night Horseman. I got a video Wednesday. I don't even know what it is. Saturday, 2 sodas, and that's about it. Just kind of trying to recoup from this weekend. It was it was exhausting. So, but well worth it. I would do it every weekend if it was neat. If it was.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. What about yourself, Baby Ice? What have you got coming up this week?
Tuesday I might have After Dark. Wednesday I have Night Owls, and then Saturday is Collector's Corner.
Nice.
Okay, nice and well planned out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just say congratulations to Jeremy and Mitchie and everybody involved on F Cancer. Fantastic. Great thing. I forgot to send you my address, Milky. Yeah, you did. You forgot. Yeah, Jeremy, Mitchie, everybody involved. Great night. You guys ended, and it went offline, and then I broke down. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I think it was just the night was just amazing. But yeah, guys, I love this community. I love everything about it. Thank you for being part of my live stream today. Thank you guys for watching the live stream. I hope to see you next week at 9:15 Central Time in America, or 3:15 in the morning if you're still up in the UK. If you are, I don't know why, because I'm just weird. But yeah, guys, I've been Milky. These have been my Game of Thrones guests for the week, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.